Hello there, this is IronDefenseDale, and we are going to go over the WTDL Season 4 draft. It's been a good one. Very excited about it. And let's just get started. So we're gonna start by going over each team's draft. This is Fiasco's draft. So we're gonna start out with so he drafted Fluttermane first. He got his pick. He got Fluttermane. Then he immediately drafts Illumise on the way back up. Gives him Prankster's Son. Gives him a lot of utility. Let's take a look. We got Encore. We got Fake Tears. You know, we got some stuff. This guy's got stuff. And that's what he needs. That's, you know, Prankster Sunny Day right here. It's busted with Fluttermane. And it helps Brute Bonnet. It helps Arcanine. This is just a busted pick. It moved up 2 tiers for a reason. It was tier 4, it moved up to tier 2. Moved up so quick. And it needed to do that. So we are glad. Also Tailwind. How could I forget Tailwind? It's Tailwind. It's just a great Pokemon. It's got the stuff. And that's all you can ask. Arcanine. Champion in VGC multiple times in a row. You know, it's just a beast. It's got Intimidate. It's got everything you want in a good Pokemon. I mean, it's gonna want a Terra often. You know, it's got the Rock. It's got Rock Head as well if you need it. Most importantly, it's just got consistency. Consistency is what you need to win. Now, Brute Bonnet's a really big Pokemon in Sun. It's necessary. It needs to be in Sun to really flourish. But what it's got Pollen Puff. It's got Spore. You know, but it's mostly going to want to attack. And it's got Crunch, and it's got Bullet Seed, Seed Bomb. It's got some stuff. But it wants to be in Sun, and it's got a bad typing. It wants to Terra so bad every time. It's got a bad typing. So we're going to see how this gets utilized. Tauros Paldea, another Intimidator. He's got double Intimidate on his team. That's pretty dang good. And it forms a Fire, Water, Grass core. That's really important for success. Forming a good type core on the team. And he did that. I'm really excited to see how he uses Tauros Aqua. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it's used. I'm curious. It's got good coverage as Tauroses tend to do. But we're gonna see what it does. Morgrem, another prankster Pokemon. It's gonna have prankster screens. It's gonna have fake out. It's gonna have parting shot. What else do you need? We're gonna see if it even gets used. It's tier 4. Got a great core ahead of it. So we're gonna see if it even gets used. Muck. Not sold on Muck. Not a big fan of Muck. Muck wants the Assault Vest. It's going to want to, click buttons. It's got Fire Punch. It's got, it even has Shadow Sneak. It's going to want to click buttons with an Assault Vest. But we're going to see if it gets used. I don't know. We'll see. But you know what will get used? Ditto. We love Ditto. We love Ditto around here. Ditto's the man. Gets to copy anything. Someone wants to set up? Ditto. That's the Pokemon. We love Ditto. Corviknight. Perfect against Intimidate with Mirror Armor. We love that. We love Mirror Armor. It's got the stuff. It's got the stuff. Mamoswine. I was really hyped for Mamoswine coming into Regulation E. I was really hyped for it. But my hype died down after I saw other things. So, I'm not sure how Mamoswine's going to do. Also probably wants Terra. It's going to be tough to decide between Thick Fat and Oblivious, but you're probably going to want Oblivious, so you don't get intimidated with your band. We'll see. Luxray, third Intimidator. You got triple Intimidate, actually. I screwed up. Triple Intimidate. What? How do you stop that? Like, special attacker and something to punish Intimidate, but triple Intimidate gives a lot of options. It's going to be interesting to see how Fiasco executes. Next up, JBX. We love this draft. I love this draft because he gets Iron Hands and then immediately goes for a premier Trick Room setter in Dusclops. Dusclops is quite low. Definitely a great Trick Room setter. Very, very, very bulky. And gets support moves to weaken stuff so Iron Hands stays alive. It gets Will-O-Wisp, gets Pain Split. We love that for Iron Hands. Then gets another Trick Room Abuser in Snorlax. That's great. Snorlax is busted. I wanted Snorlax on some of my boards. Didn't get it, but it's okay because JBX did. So I'm excited to see how it does. We have Gyarados and Iron Moth. Those are both slightly faster than the rest of the stuff that was drafted. Especially Iron Moth, very fast, very powerful. It needs to be outside of Trick Room though. So you got Trick Room, but you got some speed too, especially with Noivern. We also have Wigglytuff, very fat, and don't see it being used, but I might be surprised. Noivern, very, very fast. We got a Moongus with the ability to redirect. Obviously, with Goggles, whoever faces JBX, bring Goggles. It's going to happen. We'll see how it works out. It's got double Intimidate too with Crocodile. You know, we got Gyarados Crocodile. That's going to be exciting. But the interesting thing is that we have speed with Trick Room. How is that going to be played with? How is that going to be utilized? I'm excited. And we got Toxtricity and Sawsbuck. Sawsbuck's pretty fast. You know, it's got 95 speed. That's not too bad with a Scarf. You know, it's got some decent moves. It's got Chlorophyll. But it also has Serene Grace. We're going to see some Serene Grace shenanigans with this. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. Karth. Karth has a rain team. We love the rain. We have Urshifu and Basculegion M in rain. With Regieleki, very, very fast, even outside of, you know, it's just it's the fastest dang thing that you can get without Tailwind. So it's going to be great. Murkrow, premier manual rain setter. We'll see how it does. Murkrow didn't really get utilized last season by Fiasco, so we're going to see what it does. So there we go. We got Murkrow. Next up, we have Gastrodon. Interesting pick. Another rain abuser potentially, but stops other water moves. So we're going to see how that works out. You know, it'll be interesting. I do like Astro. I don't think this is the right team for it, but we'll see what it does. And then we got Rabska. Rabska's interesting. Trick Room setter with the funny move, with the big revival blessing. What's it going to revive? Who knows? Maybe an Urshifu, maybe a Basculegion. Could be anything. Could be anything. I do like it, though. As potential. Golem you know what it got? It got Galvanize. Galvanize is good with Explosion. We love the big electric type Explosion. Could be next to something that protects. Could be next to a ground type. We like the big Explosion. We're going to see what if it gets used. It might get used. We'll see. Then we got Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt with the new ability Electromorphosis. You know, we might see something interesting with that. Get that charge up, and then get a big electric attack. It hasn't been used well these last few seasons, but we're gonna see if it gets used well this time. It might. Vaporeon. I like Vaporeon as a pick. It's surprisingly bulky and has quite a bit of, you know, power in rain, so might actually get used. Stantler and Intimidate. There's the Intimidator. We like the Intimidator. Stantler, you know. That is... Okay, Stantler is the Intimidator. Gliscor. Not a fan of Gliscor. I looked at it. It's got some stuff, but it can't live a lot of things. It wants to Terra. It's not discount Landorus. It's worse Landorus. Very, 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 very bad Landorus. It's got some moves, but it also doesn't. This team is interesting. It's got some slow mode and a very fast mode. What's it going to use? Is it going to use the fast or the slow? You got to figure that out each week. I think it's probably going to mostly use the fast, and the rest of it's not going to be used. But we will see. We will see. I think it's mostly going to be fast, though. Next up, Oesh. Getting Landorus and Ogerpon Wellspring. Oh, keep in mind, Ogerpon cannot Terra. So, that's interesting that this was picked. It's got Water Absorb, though, which could help a Landorus. And most importantly, Landorus has Intimidate. It's fast, got that 145 base attack. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt like a truck. Mandibus, not sure why the Mandibus was picked. Maybe Tailwind, maybe some sort of shenanigans. I don't know why Mandibus was picked this high. But, you know, there's some other picks here that are interesting. Breloom, Fast Spore. Fast Spore, you know, I love that. And then you have Glamora, which can come in, set spikes by getting hit. We love that. T-spikes are great. Mineshaw. Mineshaw's a fast pivot. Salazzle, potentially a fast pivot with a jetpack overheat. You know, you have a couple things that can pivot around, get Lando in and out for the Intimidates. We like this. Haxorus, very, very powerful physical attacker, but can it use Mold Breaker to its advantage? That's what we really want to see. Can it use Mold Breaker? It might. Then we have Reveroom with Filter. Can Reveroom even survive without Terra? Because that's its big problem, is it gets hit by a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff wants to hit it. Filter's good, but Filter also can't save you all the time. So it's going to be interesting. Can it do its thing? Polion I do like, because it has competitive now. It has competitive, it can build some stuff, and then it can hit you in the face with a flash cannon or a hydro pump. It's got some stuff. We're going to see how Empoleon gets used. I like it. Haunter, very, very fast Pokemon. Very fast, gets Levitate too. It's going to be a fun one. It's probably going to be a Sash user. Don't think Eviolite's going to boost it enough, so it's going to be a Sash user. But it's going to have enough firepower to make itself useful, I think, from Tier 4. It's going to be useful from Tier 4, so I'm looking forward to it. How is this going to be used? We'll see. I think it's going to be mostly pivot around with Landorus, but it's one of the more confusing teams out there. Next up, Adelov. Adelov got Ursaluna Blood Moon. Got Ursaluna Blood Moon, and immediately then got Ninetales Alola. I love Ninetales Alola. It immediately starts setting up two different modes. Two different modes is good. We love that. Two different modes is what we need to see. Conkeldurr. Setting up more Trick Room abusers. And then getting a Trick Room setter in Mimikyu. Mimikyu as a Trick Room setter is underrated because of Disguise. As long as it doesn't get taunted, you can't attack it and kill. Unless you outspeed it twice and hit it twice, you're not going to kill it in one hit. Unless you're Mold Breaker, you're not going to kill in one hit. That's awesome. Great pick. Deserves to be picked. Hasn't been picked for a few seasons. Finally getting love. Glastrier in Snow is going to be fun. It's going to have bulk. It's going to be bulky. Then we have Slowking, a Trick Room setter, another one. And then Oranguru, another Trick Room setter. 3 different choices for Trick Room setters. Slowking Galar can be more of an abuser, but it's going to be interesting to see how these Trick Room setters get used. Beartic, a Snow abuser with Slush Rush. I believe it gets Slush Rush. It does get Slush Rush. So we're going to see how that gets used. Probably 2 different modes, Trick Room and then Snow. Going to bring parts of both. Hard to decide. You know, Infernape's just a fast pick with some priority. Mixed attacker. You don't know what it's going to do each day. So we'll see. We'll see. Might be special one week. Might be physical the next. You got to pick. You got to pick. But it gets Iron Fist. It's Iron Fist. So we're going to see if Iron Fist gets used. Persian. A cheap fake out Pokemon. Cheap fake out. We love fake out. Cheap fake out is always good. Because it's Gen 1, it has a variety of interesting moves like Icy Wind. So you never know what's coming. You never know, it might pop out an Icy Wind on you. So that's going to be a fun one. I want to see Persian get used, genuinely, especially as a support Pokemon. Score. Score's team is interesting because the first pick was an Articuno Galar. Tier 2. Not an S, not a 1, Tier 2. First Tier 2 off the board. Um, it's really solid, though. It gets Tailwind and Trick Room. What a beast. What a beast of a Pokemon. It can run 2 different modes. It's fast enough to run Tailwind. It's bulky enough to get off a Trick Room. Who knows what it's going to do? And Ursaluna, Trick Room Abuser right away. Magnezone, potential Trick Room Abuser right away. And then Hydreigon, a potential Tailwind Abuser. Garganacl, a nice wall that you can have. You start to see pieces of 2 different modes. So that's going to be interesting. And then you got a bunch of support pieces. Not sold on some of these. Toxicroak, I had it last season. Kind of didn't work out for me. I only brought it once, sort of as a meme in the last battle of the regular season. Never really used it at all. Didn't need to, though. But I never used it. So finally might get some usage. Appleton, 616 had it last season. So this will be a fun one. How is Appleton going to be used? Will it still use Gluttony? Will it use Thick Fat? What's it going to do? I mean, it's got Apple Acid. What a great move for to set up other things. It's bulky. Might be good. And it forms a Water Fire Grass core with Clawitzer and Skeletors. Very slow Water Fire Grass, but it still forms it. Clawitzer's really fun in Rain, but let's see how it does in Trick Room. It's got some really powerful moves that Mega Launcher can abuse. Should be good. Skeledirge. Good old Skeledirge. Very bulky, slow, but it can snowball its attack special attack rather, very, very quickly. And that's good for it. It can be a menace quickly, especially in Trick Room. Dusknoir, Trick Room setter with some attacking potential. We'll see. It's worse than Dusclops, but it's still quite good. So we'll see. Gets Frisk. Can help you determine what items they're using. Information is always good because it's not open team sheet. It's a closed team sheet. Last pick, Iron Valiant. Very, very, very fast mixed attacker. Fills out the fast end of this with Tailwind, but I'm confused by this pick. I'm not sold on it. Feels out of place, but we will see how it gets used. Still feels out of place. Okay, scrolling down, we have Jotun. Jotun's team is awesome. Might be one of my favorites. It is a Sun team with Roaring Moon, Sandy Shocks, and Torkoal. Awesome. Gets Trick Room 2 with Hatrine. Gets, some good utility and walls and Gudra and Clodsire. But it also has just medium speed Sun, which is interesting with Ceruledge and Scovillain. So I'm not sure what speed this is going for. Seems fast, but has the potential for slow. Should be good. It's gonna hurt to face them. Gonna hurt. Jotun seems really, really, really good. Really good. Nerdy's team. Oh god. This team's disgusting in every way. Disgusting. Disgusting. I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's got Goldengo with Tailwind and Rain from Volbeat and Tailglow Baton Pass. Volbeat's got the sauce. Like I said, moved up with Illumise from Tier 4 to Tier 2, rightfully so, and it's got just so much sauce. Salamence and Pelipper, you got the Hurricane duo, very nasty to face. Timidate from Sal, you got some it's ugly to face. It's going to be a tough one. Volcarona has Redirection, also gets Hurricane, gets Struggle Bug, doesn't even need a Fire move. It honestly doesn't need a Fire move, because it's got other things that it can do. It's awesome. I love Volcarona on this team. I used to run Volcarona on a Rain team in Gen 8. Singles, though, because Hurricane. Before Terra, I used to do that. And look, it's popping up from Nerdy's team. Very glad to see this. Clefable, more redirection. Overquill and Dreadnought, some Rain Abusers. Shiftry, Tailwind Abuser. And rounding out with a Pikachu and a Lucario to seem like some value picks to fill out the roster. I do like it. It's going to be tough to face. Might be one of the top teams. I think it will. I think it's going to be top 2. But I do think the next one is the best. In my opinion, I would rate this one the best. Chien-Pao Dragonite from Cross. He got away with it. He was low enough at the bottom. Everyone was picking their first pick. No one picked Chien-Pao. He got Chien-Pao. And no one picked up Dragonite. I didn't do it. 616, JKG. None of us picked up Dragonite in our 2 picks. I thought about it, but I decided to go with Urshifu single. And I don't regret my decision, but at the same time, Chien-Pao Dragonite. Oh my god. With priority blocking and Bruxish, with speed control and sleepiness, some melatonin from from Pavilion. Got lots of disruption in Sableye, Lycanroc. Very, very powerful physical attacker, what it's worth. Chandelure, a powerful special attacker. Scizor has it's got that steel, the beastly, the just that bullet punch is gonna hurt. Arboliva and Electros and Furret. I think it's just filling out with value picks. That's tier 3 and 2 tier 4s. I think it's just value picks. We'll see if they get used. They might, but I think it doesn't even need to. You have a great team in your top 6, 7. You don't need the bottom 4. You just don't. Alrighty. Moving on to JKG. JKG's team is a little confusing. It has Ogerpon and the returning champion from JKG, Iron Jugulus. Returning champion is back. Iron Jugulus. Clutched up against me in the final game. Haunts my dreams. I wake up in a cold sweat thinking about Iron Jugulus. That thing's a beast. Discount Yveltal. Really. And then you got some Trick Room stuff in Hariyama, Bronzong. Then you have a lot of speed in the next 4 picks. Cinderace, Jolteon, Basculin, and Rabombi, all speed picks. But you have Trick Room and Bronzong, so it'll be interesting. But Greedent and Sandaconda got picked up. Good. Greedent showed its usage as potential Trick Room abuser with 616. But the last pick, waited all the way to the last pick. 3rd last pick in the draft. Baxcalibur. Wow. That thing's going to hurt so bad against some of these teams. Going to hurt so bad. The one problem is, there's just, when is it going to get its chance to get a Dragon Dance up? I don't know. So we're gonna see how this plays out. Might be Ogerpon redirecting for Baxcalibur. Might be Ogerpon redirecting for Baxcalibur. So that'll be fun. Alright, and then comes to IronDefenseDale. That's me. It's my team. I love this team. Same time, I'm not sure how I feel. We got Heatran, the returning GOAT. So many KOs. 2nd most KOs in the draft. Or in last season, rather. Only beat out by 2 KOs by Ursaluna, who Ursaluna was the primary KO getter for 616. I had other KO getters. I had Reggie Drago and even like Farigiraf was picking up KOs. So there was some stuff there. That was picking up KOs. Heatran shared KOs, but it almost had the most. Urshifu, single strike. I do like it. It can pick off stuff very easily. You can't protect against it. I like preventing the protect. Zapdos, great pivot for Heatran and Urshifu. A fighting type wants to hit you, switch to Zapdos, static, and resist. What a great pick. I love Zapdos. It's going to be fun to use. Gothitelle, similar thing, can resist fighting, but it has the nasty. It has Shadow Tag. Gross. Shadow Tag. Gross, gross, gross. Shadow Tag. It can bully. It can bully so bad. They have to either pivot out with a move, have Shed Shell, or be a Ghost type. Otherwise, they ain't doing nothing. And having Urshifu, they can't protect. I could have both of them out. They can't protect. They can't switch. It's a problem. Problem. Tsarina, prevent priority. I traded Palmont for Tsarina for a good reason. It was there and it prevents priority. And it's got a little bit of bulk. And I needed something to resist ground because I was starting to get a ground weakness with Heatran, Stonjourner, and Palmont, so I needed a trade. Um, Speaking of that, Stonjourner. That's gonna boost my single strike Heatran, and who knows what else. It's just a great booster. Has enough attack to hurt 125, good defensive stat, but man is its special defense bad. 20. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad if it gets hit there. Gotta be careful. Gotta be smart. Have protect on it. Not run invest. Not running vest. If you catch me running vest, smack me upside the head. I shouldn't do it. Venonat. Now you may be wondering, why draft Venonat? It's a bug. It's not very good. Compound Eyes. Okay. You see Compound Eyes? It's Sleep Powder. Compound Eyes Sleep Powder with Eviolite. It's got decent enough bulk to maybe survive. Might run a Sash. But it's got that. But it's also got, Screech, Weather, well, I think it's only Sunny Day. Has like some others. I believe it has Struggle Bug. It's got some moves. Got good enough moves. And it's cheap. It's tier 4. Why not? I think it's got enough stuff. Oh, it's got Rage Powder too. It can redirect. Love redirection. Especially on something cheap. Wanted to get a cheap redirector, so I got it. Magius, got it's fast, really fast. Got Perish Song 2. Got to tell Perish, be careful. It's gonna hurt. Might show up, might not. Who knows? Who knows? It's got Will-O-Wisp, Trick. It's got some moves. It's got some sneaky. Could be anything. Could be anything. Who knows what it'll be? Might be anything. Be careful. Inteleon. I mostly drafted Inteleon because it's fast and it's got good special attack. Icy Wind. It's got U-Turn, Snipe Shot. Snipe Shot's good, can't be redirected. Can run it with Scope Lens and maybe get a quick KO. We'll see. Maybe not. It was just a value pick, to be honest. Altaria with Cloud9. There's 4 weather teams. Can you believe it? There's 4 weather teams. 4 of them. Actually, there's 5. I can't believe that. 5 weather teams. Potentially more. With like kind of option weather teams. You got Fiasco, Sun Team. You got I believe it was Yoden. Was it Yoden? Yeah, it was Yoden. Second Sun Team. You have shoot. You have Karth. You have Karth with another Rain team. You have Ada with a Snow team, and you have Nerdy with a second Rain team. 5 weather. Needed something to say, you can't have weather. Altaria with Cloud9. Probably the better of the two that have Cloud9. Not really sold on Golduck. Altaria's got a little bit more utility, and that's what I like, is Altaria doing that. So we're going to see how that works out. Potentially bring an Altaria. Might not, but it's tier 4. Value pick, basically. And the other part of my trade, trading a tier 2 down to Tsarina in tier 3, was able to upgrade a tier 4. Traded my Alola Mola, which I drafted knowing I was going to trade it. Just for the memes. Drafted Alomomola. Yeah. So I just wanted to stick it to Nerdy, basically. Let him know that, Aloe Momola did get drafted one season. He can't get rid of it. It's sticking around. Take that. Um, but Illusion, Zoroark, Sui might be a Gothitelle. Maybe you can't switch. Might be a Sarina. Can't use priority. You don't know. Might be that scary Urshifu. You don't know. But I might do some things with that. I might set up. I might start clicking buttons. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the shenanigans. But I love my team. Same time, I don't. Something off. Feel like I'm missing an identity a little bit. But it's good stuff. We'll see if I can execute. Last team. 616. Palafin Screamtail. We love Palafin. Love Screamtail. You know, we have Intimidate Arcanine, Kilowattrel with the Tailwind, Zapdos, Dugtrio. You know, got some value picks down here. And you got a wall with Goodra. It's going to be interesting. Got a good Fire Water Grass core right here, along with Screamtail and Kilowattrel. Might have some sauce, but we will see. Who knows what it'll do? I look forward to it. And those are the teams, right? Well, let's move on to a little bit of information, that I found. This right here. This probably looks confusing. See if I can make it a little. Nope, this way. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. That looks a little bit, maybe one down. There we go. So, okay. So what this does is it shows the entire draft, but it also shows who was new to this season, who was not drafted, who is a Season 3 champion, and who was drafted in Season 3 but didn't win. Here we go. So, right here, 21 new Pokemon were drafted. I believe, and now this is mostly accurate. I'm sure I messed up somewhere. But 21 brand new Pokemon are drafted. These are Pokemon that weren't in Season 3 but are now available in Season 4. So, yeah. Brand new Pokemon, 21 of them, including Ursaluna, Ogerpon, Illumise. There's some good ones. Volbeat. And then 60 new Pokemon that were up for draft last season that didn't get drafted. 60 got drafted. That's wild. There are more Pokemon that are brand new to this than there are returning Pokemon. 39 returning Pokemon. Wild. Love it. Also, 5 Pokemon got drafted, out of which each team last season was 10. So 5 Pokemon got drafted. It's half of JKG's team. One of them got traded right away. I traded Palmon away. But, the other 4 sticking around. 2 of them got picked early, 2 of them got picked late. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it. All right. So, back to this. I'm going to go over who I think the top 3 are and who the bottom 3 are. I'm not going to go in the middle. I'm not going to do a full tier list. The top 3 are up for debate. The bottom 3 are up for debate. So the top 3, I would say, arguably, are in no particular order: Cross Streams, Dragonite Chien-Pao team, Nerdy's Goldengo Rain team, and Yoden's Full Sun team. I love all 3. And then the bottom 3. This is unfortunate because all of these bottom 3 great battlers. They can show up, show out, but I do think their teams are bottom 3. Scores, a little confusing. Might prove us all idiots. Might prove us all wrong. We'll see. Oesh is not sold. Just don't see its identity. Just don't see its full identity. So we're going to see what it can do when it gets used. And then I think I'm bottom 3. Hate to say it, I think I'm bottom 3. Hurts, but I have to live with it. So that's where I stand. All right. Well, that's what I went over. Hope you enjoyed my takes, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.